Hi everyone. So before we dive into the real exciting stuff, let's first think through why we want to learn programming. Otherwise, you might not be able to make it through the entire process, since some of the materials can be boring and some can be hard for different people. I would also explain why I think Python is a great language for beginners to learn. So some of you may have experience of programming before. That is great. For those of you who are really new, let's try to understand what programming is. A program or a software, which you may heard more often, is a set of statements or commands in encoding algorithms. Then the program can control different targeted devices or hardware, which can be your phone or your laptop or your game station or your camera. So the so programming is the process of writing those of encoding the algorithms into those set of statements and using that set of statements to control the devices or hardware that you want to perform um, certain operations on. So you may also ask, why exactly do we learn programming? The short answer would be almost where exactly do we learn programming? The short answer would be almost everywhere on everything. For example, the air conditioner at your home or at your school uses programs to control temperature. Your smartphone probably have thousands of programs. A lot of those you are not able to see them directly because they are embedded in the system. Nowadays, programming can do a lot of interesting stuff as well. For example, on the left, it's a it's a self-driving car developed by Google. It used a lidar system and it used a program to control the entire car. And if you look in the middle, it says the programming can do stock predictions right now. Um, Actually, I would say almost all the financial institutes use programming as assistant to make to make certain decisions um, regarding to um, like stock or all the financial decisions. Um, and also, you would know that robots uses a lot of programmings. Some of you might be very interested in that. Um, so the programming, in order to write programs, we have to learn programming languages. They are very similar to real world languages that humans speak. They are simply the languages that electronic devices speak. So we need to use proper programming languages to communicate devices. Similar to learning second languages like Spanish, we have to learn syntax, grammar, and also like other language tricks. Um, for different languages, there are different advantages, and they might target different devices. And that's also why there are so many of them. Um, some of the major ones are like Java, Python, C, Swift, and a lot more. Java is probably one of the most popular. It is used on all Android devices, and Python is the one we are gonna learn. It's a very popular language. You will see through the process of this course, and C is the fundamental language that almost all devices and all computers system is built based on. And Swift is a language developed by Apple, and it's mainly used on application development of iOS devices, such as your iPhone or your iPad. Um, so Python, as we have said, is one of the most popular programming languages. It's probably around the top three. The other are probably the other two are Java and C. It is used by almost all major companies, like Google, Facebook, where you name it. And it's also used on different purposes. Some of you might have heard of machine learning, and you can use Python to do web development, like writing your own website. Um, and all other kinds of computer programs. The reason that I suggest learning programs, learn to program using Python is because first, I use Python as a start too. And second, it's easier to learn compared to other languages such as Java or C because the syntax and grammar are just more simple. It's just simpler than the others. Before writing Python programs, we have to first set up the develop environment. You would have to download and install Python 3.7 from the Python official website. I will later put the link under the video. There are two versions of Python you will see on the website. One is Python 2 and the other is Python 3. Python 2 came out in an earlier time, so it will be more stable compared to Python 3. However, we are going to use Python 3 because it supports more functionality and it will probably be used by more people in the future. And the software that I use to write Python programs is Python. That's how you spell it. It is a very simple software to learn and has a very clear and beginner-friendly user interface. As you can see, it's very clear that it's only a left part on the screen and a right part. After installing both Python 3.7 and Python, we would need to set up Python to run Python on it. If you are using a Mac, you can just follow along whatever I do. If you are using Windows or Linux, it should be a very similar process. So you go to Shell and you go to Edit Shell Configurations. There are only two things that you need to change. One is exe and the other is GUI. In the exe options, you would choose Python 3.7. I have so many down here because I installed different versions of Python, but the one you are going to choose is going to be Python 3.7. And inside here, you would choose none, no GUI support. After those two, you can just click done and then restart your Python. I'm not going to do that because I have already everything set up already. After restarting, you can test out if your environment is set up properly or not by typing out print 5 divided by 3 on the right side. So after the 3 arrows, you will see a number showing up on the screen. If you see that, it means that everything is properly set up and we can start writing and running programs on Python. So you should also have two small windows down here. You can close those two because they are not very useful in the process of writing programs. On the left side, it's a text editor basically. You can write different text inside, and you can save it as text editor, as all text editors do, and you can later re-edit it later. And but we are going to use it to write Python programs. One of the basic Python command and very useful Python command is print, where you can print the things that you want to show on the right side of the screen. So you can write print hello world. Sorry about my spelling. And then you save it by Command S, and then you can run file as script. There you see Python is being run on the right side, and then the hello world is displayed on the screen. So the right side is called shells, but you don't have to understand it you don't have to understand exactly what it does right now. Basically, it runs the Python program that you wrote on the left side, and then display whatever you are asking it to display on the right side on the screen. You can also write Python. You can also write Python commands on the right side too. For example, you can write 3 divided by 5. It's not a basic calculator. It is running the Python program to run 3 divided by 5. Or you can also do the same thing, like print hello on the right side, and it will show the hello will show up on the screen too. So basically, the right side is either running the program on the left, or you can try out different Python commands on the right. Um, besides print, you might also write random text on the left too, but that's not allowed in the Python program. For example, if I run that, it's going to show up as an error on the right side. So that thing is not defined. It's not a Python command. The way we write random things or anything you want to write in the program as a text, you can add a hashtag before. So it will be a comment. You can write, this is a Python program. So whatever you want the readers or yourself to read in the future, you can also add hashtags after a Python command. This is a comment. And then if you run it this time, everything should work fine, and the hello world is print. You can also write different print statements, like 5 divided by 3, like the one we did earlier, and then run it. It wouldn't display all the comments in between. It would only execute the Python commands. The first print hello world, the second print prints the number. And that's it for today. As I have said earlier, I would put the links below the video and you can just try writing some Python programs. It's okay that your program fails sometimes. You can't learn programming well without trying and failing. So don't be intimidated by errors. They are your friends in the process of learning. Every time that you solve an error and make program runs, you should be proud of yourself. So go happy programming and see you next time.